Hello. This is Vinod Prabhu, and welcome to our channel, 7 Sense Aptitude Prep. Hi, friends. This is another video on mixtures and alligations. We've created two videos already. You would see that in the playlist. The videos look at concepts and basic problems and intermediate problems. In this video, we are going to look at advanced problems that require you to think outside the box, think differently, and solve it using some fundamentals of other topics as well. Okay, so we'll look at what those problems are. So a merchant mixes three varieties. So until now we looked at two varieties being mixed, right? So there are three varieties of fruits now getting mixed. So it is still a mixture now, but the prices are 20. So of the first variety, price of one is 20, price of two is 30, and price of three is 40. Okay, key point: when you are mixing three quantities, right? Let us say the price here is 28. It is 28, right? So let us see what we have to do. You have to take the two items such that there is one price which is lower than this price and one price which is higher than this price. How can you take it? We can take P1 and P2, and we can take P1 and P3. Okay, if you take P1 and P2, one price is lesser, one price is more. If you take P1 and P3, one price is lesser, one price is more. Can you take P2 and P3? No, because 28 is lower than both those prices. So this you don't take. So what do I mean when you take P1, P2? You calculate it and get the ratio 20, 30, 28. You get 2 and 8, 1:4. So give me a minute. Okay, so we have P1 is to P2 as 1:4. Similarly, if between P1 and P3, we'll get it as 20, 40, and 28. This is 12, this is 8, 3:2. So P1 is to P3. If you have to get the value here, you find out the ratio of P1 is to P2 is to P3, and you add this because P1 and P1 are repeating. When you write the ratio P1, P2, P3, you add the ratios for numbers for P1. You get 4, 3 plus 1. P2 we get 4 because that is what is here, and P3 we get 2. 4:4:2 can also be simplified as 2:2:1. P1, P2, P3. Remember, if three varieties are mixed, the resultant price will be between the lowest price and the highest price, correct? So now we've gotten 28. Then you take the combination of two of those varieties such that at least one of those prices is lesser than the mixture price and the other price is greater than the mixture price. Okay, take two such combinations. The third one will not be possible. So here you can't do P2, P3 because if 30 and 40 are mixed, you will never get the prices 28. So you don't take this. This is not to be taken. Then you calculate for P1 and P2 with the mixture prices 28. You find that ratio. Then you find the ratio for P1 and P3, and then you do P1 is to P3. P1 is to P2 we have gotten as 1:4, and P1 is to P3 we have gotten as 3:2. Then when you have to do P1 is to P2 is to P3, you add whatever is repeating. Here P1 is repeating, so you add 1 and 3 and you get the answer as 4. So the ratio is 4:4:2. It is 2:2:1. Remember this when you have to do mixtures of three varieties. Again, he's mixing three varieties of rice, costing 20 rupees per kg, 24 per kg, and 30 per kg, and sells the mixture at a profit. See, here we have cost price. Here we have selling price. We have discussed previously that it should all be cost price, it should all be selling price. Let us convert this into the cost price. See, if selling price is 30 at a profit of 20%, what is cost price? Cost price is given as selling price divided by profit plus 100 into 100. So selling price is 30, profit percentage plus 100 is 120 into 100. 1 4 125. So 25 rupees. So the three varieties of rice that are mixed, 20, 24 and 30, we are getting the cost price of the resultant mixture as 25. So if it is 25, so this is P1, P2, P3, which is 20, 24 and 25. Which two combinations can we take? So let us write it as P1, P2, P2, P3 and P1, P3. If I take P1 and P2, 20 and 24, the resultant mixture has to be between 20 and 24. It is not possible. It is greater than both. Not possible. If I take, sorry, this is P3 which is 30, right? Okay, P3 which is 30. If I take P2 and P3, 24 and 30, the resultant mixture is greater than 24 but lesser than 30. I can take it. If I take P1, P3, 20 and 30, 25 is greater than 20 and lesser than 30, so I can take it. Okay, so for P2 P3 combination, if you have to do, I write it as 24 30 25, makes it 5 and 1. So P2 P3 ratio I have gotten. P1 P3 if I have to do 20 30 25, 5 is to 5, which is 1 is to 1. P1 P3 P3, right? What is repeating? P3 is repeating. So I write P1, P2, P3. So P1 is only appearing here, so I write 1. P2 is only appearing here, so I write 5. P3 is appearing when the value here is 1, the value here is 1 as well. So 1 plus 1, 2. So the ratio is 1 is to 5 is to 2. What will be the quantity of the second variant if 2 kgs of the third variant is there? So in this ratio, if you see, if P3 corresponds to 2 kg. So see, P2 is to P3, we have to find, right? So P3, if P3 is 2, P2 is 5. If P3 is 2 kgs, P2 is 5 kgs. If they had said in the mixture, if 4 kgs of the third variant is there. So what do, if it was 4 kgs of the third variant? Here the answer is 5, 4 kgs of the third variant. If P3 is 2, P2 is 5. If P3 is 4, it is 5 into 4 by 2. P2 would have become 10 then. Okay, here the answer is 5 kgs. I repeat, when you get the value of the mixture, don't do it in selling price, because everything has to be either all cost price or all selling price. When you get the cost price, you see which of the two combinations are acceptable, so that the mixture price is between the lower and the higher price. So here P1 P2 is not possible because the price of P1 is 20, price of P2 is 24, mixture can't be greater than both. So that is not done. When you find out the separate ratios, you find P2 P3 as 5:1, you find P1 P3 as 1:1, and since P3 is repeating, you add, here it is 1 and 1, so it gets added to 2. P5 P1 is 1 and P2 is 5. Then they have said if 2 kgs of the third variant is there, 2 kgs of the third variant is there, what does it mean? It means that the 2 kgs of the third variant is present. If 2 units are present, 5 units of P2 would be there. If 2 kgs are there, 5 kgs of P2 would be present. If 2 kgs of the third variant is there, how many kgs of the first variant would be there? 1 kg, because it is 1:5:2. 13. Raju has 60 kgs of jowar. He sells some part at 10% profit and the remaining at 5% loss. If you have to do mixture allocation, right? Whenever there is a profit, you write that as plus. Whenever there is a loss, you write that as minus. Okay. So there is the part which is sold at profit, which is 10. There is a part that is sold at a loss, which is minus 5. The resultant is the profit, so you write plus 4. Okay. If you have to do this operation, you get 6 and you get 9. 9:6. 9:6 is 3:2. So this is at profit, this is at loss. So it is, so he sells 2 parts at a loss and 3 parts at a profit. How much did he sell at a loss? So out of 5 units, 2, so out of 5 units, 2 are sold at a profit. As I was saying, in 5 units, 3 are sold at a profit and 2 are sold at a loss. Okay. So how much did he sell at a loss? It is 2 units out of 5 out of 60 units. 5, 1, 5, 12. So it is 24. 5, 1 and 5, 12 makes it 24 kgs. So 24 kgs is sold at a loss. The remaining 60 minus 24, which is 36 kgs, is sold at a profit. So this is what is asked here. This is profit, this is loss. Mixture of milk and water in the ratio 9:1. We have added 500 ml of water. The ratio becomes 3:1. Find the resultant. Find the quantity of water in the original mixture. So let us assume that this tank where the mixture is, this has X liters. Okay. In X liters, how do you find how much water was there previously? In 10 parts, I have 1 part of water, right? 9:1, right? In 10 parts, I have 1 part of water and 9 parts of milk. In X part, how much do I have? I have 1 by 10x. So in X part, so my variable is, let us say this question mark, X by 10. I have X by 10 of water. Initially, I have X by 10 of water. Now I am adding 500 ml. So I add 500 ml. What is the milk that is there in the initial container? It is 9x by 10. Okay. So if I had done that, if water was not added, it would have been x by 10 by 9x by 10. Okay. 9x by 10. It would have been 1:9, which is correct. But now I have added water. So my numerator becomes x by 10 plus 100. My denominator remains as 9x by 10. So the new ratio is now 3:1. Okay. So this is water. This is milk. But the ratio that they are given is milk is to water is 3:1. So now water is to milk is 1:3. Okay. So I get x plus 5000 by 10 by 9x by 10 is 1 by 3. 3x plus 15,000. You can even keep it in liters. Okay. Probably would have made calculations simpler. So 6x is equal to 15,000. Now our answer is in ml. Okay. X is equal to 2500 ml. Which means x is equal to 2.5 liters. 2.5 liters is our original quantity. As in, this is the quantity, original quantity that was there, right? In that, how much water was present? We had 1 by 10th only. So 1 by 10th of 2500 ml. It is 250 ml of water was there. What is x? X is not the answer. X is this, that entire mixture. In this, we had 1 part of water only. So 1 part out of every 10 parts. So 10 parts have 1 parts of water. 2500 has how many parts? 2500 by 10. That's 250 parts. So 250 ml of water is there in the original mixture. Brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. Okay. And bronze is an alloy of copper, zinc, tin. In that ratio, when they are fused, the entity has some other ratio of copper, zinc, and tin. Okay. Now let me write brass. It's a very nice question. You don't know the percentage of copper, you don't know the percentage of zinc, plus 0% of tin. Okay. And bronze, has 80% copper, plus 4% zinc, plus 16% tin. And the mixture has 74% copper, plus 16% zinc, and 10% tin. When bronze, which has 16% tin, gets added to this and becomes this fused mixture, what do we get? The tin is coming only from bronze. Brass doesn't have tin. So 60% of tin from bronze is the same as 10% of tin from bronze plus brass. Okay, so what does it say again? So the tin that is coming in is 60% from bronze, which is equal to 10% in this bronze and brass, what do you say, fusion. So if you simplify, 6% bronze is 10% brass. Bronze by brass, if you want to take 10 by 6, 5 by 3. You've gotten this as 5 by 3. Now, if you have to look at what the chemical composition of brass is, do it as allegation this way. Now, we have brass and bronze getting added, and we know what the ratio is of bronze and brass getting mixed. So let us take it for copper. We get X, this is brass, this is bronze. If bronze has 80% copper, the resultant is 74% copper. Now this is brass is 3, bronze is 5, this is in the ratio 3:5. 80 minus 74 by 74 minus X is in the ratio 5 by 3, or okay, sorry, in the ratio 3 by 5. So 4 and 6 into 5 is 30 is equal to 74 into 3 minus 3x. 3x equals 74 into 3 is 222 minus 30, 192, and x is equal to 192 by 3, which is 64. So brass has 64% copper. That is 64% copper, this is 0, this is left to be 36% zinc. So what did we do? Brass has 0% tin, bronze has 16% tin, the mixture has 10% tin. So I have equated, even when the mixture gets fused, brass is not contributing any tin. So 16% of tin in bronze is equal to 10% of tin in the mixture, which is equal to 10% of bronze plus 10% of brass. Okay. Now, and hence I got the ratio of bronze is to brass as 5:3. Now, then I see at what ratio they are mixing. So, initial composition of copper in brass, I don't know, so I made that as X. Composition of copper in bronze, I kept that as 80. And then the resultant mixture has 74%. And the ratio is given as 3:5. So, I did and calculated and I got X as 64, which means X is the copper composition in brass. So X is 64, zinc is 100 minus 64 because tin is 0. And we get the chemical composition of these two entities. So you see, this particular set has had tougher problems, has had trickier problems, and solving it required us to think differently for each problem. Okay, so when you are solving questions, if your fundamentals are good, any problem is gettable, is solvable. Okay, so if you liked the video, please click on the thumbs up sign and subscribe to our channel. Please visit 7sense Aptitude Prep regularly, share it with your friends, click on the bell icon, and if you need more practice, visit our website 7sensestalent.com. You can sign up there and then you can use the free as well as the paid resources and become better at aptitude and secure the dream job or get through your favorite competitive exam. Okay, thank you so much for spending your time with us. I hope you have had a wonderful time. If you have any questions outside of these questions, please keep that in the comment section and it will be answered. Thank you so much for your time once again.